Debemos irnos ya.
Papá.
Tiago, sube con tu madre al camión. Toma esto. Siempre será tu guía.
Sí, papá.
Nos reuniremos pronto.
Xavier, el cuadro.
La Malediccio. Por aquí.
Es demasiado tarde. ¡Vamos! ¡No, papá!
Señor, aquí dentro. Búsquenlos. Por supuesto.
París en primavera. Pasión. Romance. L'amour. Yo trabajaba en una aseguradora de arte. Pagaba el alquiler, más o menos. Y entonces, por casualidad, me encontré a Nico en una vista privada.
¿No me dijiste que habías vuelto a París, George?
Tenemos que ponernos al día. ¿Vamos a comer?
Que nadie se mueva.
No, monsieur. La Malediccio, no.
¡Atrás!
Una vez más, París me enseñaba su lado oscuro. Un atraco brutal. Un asesinato absurdo. Nico y yo estábamos a punto de sumergirnos en una nueva y aterradora aventura.
The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. The alarm still worked on that painting. I wondered why the stolen painting's alarm hadn't sounded. Another alarm working as it should. This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. I pressed the vibration detector pad. Nothing happened. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. It looked fine to me. That wasn't the reason the alarm didn't go off. So, the alarm wasn't broken. I suspected foul play. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. The priest was administering the last rites. The priest was giving last rites to the gallery owner. I didn't want to interfere. The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. There was no mistaking this body. It was Hector Lane, art critic extraordinaire. He and I had met before. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. In the pocket was a pair of nail clippers. They were monogrammed with the letters H.L. Lane was out cold. I was going to need something to bring him around. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobbart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute, I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next, I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. Poor guy. He definitely looked better. Hair today, gone tomorrow. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I needed to find where he kept his records. The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime. Father?
Yes, my son.
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil is all around, Mr. Stobbart.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in."
What does that mean?
We may never know.
What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
The painting.
Which one?
La Malediccio, of course.
The painting that was stolen?
I had to confront the evil.
A wire in the painting's alarm was deliberately cut.
Cut by the devil himself, perhaps.
Well, as far as I know, sightings of guys with horns and tails have been a little down recently.
You mock me, Mr. Stobbart. But as you will discover, the devil likes to have the last laugh.
What do you know about the man who painted La Malediccio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire, the fire of eternal damnation.
Tell me about the stolen painting.
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
I think there's something strange going on here.
Yes, Mr. Stobbart. At last you see the truth.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like an inside job.
The devil's work is always an inside job.
The label read, "Awaken the Beast Within." Well, no harm in trying.
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now, what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
dead? Afraid so.
Poor chap. Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course. The man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobbart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course. We worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow's gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door. Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Malediccio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond that, I don't really recall.
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. Who painted the stolen painting?
Therein lies a mystery. We only know his pseudonym, El Serp. He was a Catalan, a modernist. His works are symbolic, religious.
What can you tell me about the stolen painting?
La Malediccio, a challenging piece. If you like a wide cast of obscure saints and fringe Christian symbolism, of course. Not especially valuable, though. The thief won't get much for it on the black market.
So, you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. The street was quiet and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief. From out here, you couldn't see the stolen painting. This robbery was definitely planned. The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner. You gotta hand it to the French. They know how to take a leak in style. Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprise me.
Can you tell me anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
It's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh, yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight, for sure. If you see him, give him this bill, and tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night, but Lane told me he was nowhere near the gallery. This could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Would you like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
No, sorry. Thank you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
I've always been a sucker for Parisian stained glass. Nico wasn't answering her phone. No surprise. Hello, Mr. Rickenbacker?
Stobbart, what do you want?
Mr. Rickenbacker, there's been a problem.
Oh, why does that surprise me? This better not involve the Blue Lizard.
Afraid it does, sir. There's been a robbery.
Oh, terrific.
Only one painting was stolen, though.
Well, what are you wasting time talking to me for? Find that painting, or find a way to avoid paying out. Two ways to keep your job, Stobbart.
I see. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anything else you gotta tell me?
The thief had a gun. He shot the gallery owner dead.
We insured him too?
No, sir.
Well, that's one piece of good news. At least tell me you got some leads.
I'm pretty sure the security was sabotaged. The alarm was disabled for that one painting.
So, it was an inside job. Who else is at the gallery?
There's a guy called Hector Lane.
Lane? Why does that name sound familiar?
He's an art critic. I think he's connected to the exhibition.
Now, could it be him?
Well, he's rude and ugly. It's certainly possible.
So squeeze him, Stobbart. Squeeze him till he squeals.
If I was going to squeeze Lane, I needed longer arms than these.
Find out who disabled the security system, then find that painting. And don't call back until you have.
Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but That sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobbart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 642... No.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Mo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Mou. Our paths had crossed before. Sergeant Mou, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard. An unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor man! I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius. A man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut-tut, he is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Mou?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. This was madness. Sergeant Mou wasn't going to let me in. Why are you so tired, Sergeant Mou?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappes.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse. The black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La liberté. The great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur.
The road to enlightenment is a long one, madame. Perhaps you will walk that road with me?
Could we have a little chat?
Anytime, madame.
Did you see anything happen at the gallery earlier?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody said he killed someone.
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the gallery owner.
How close we are to death. And yet how far from ever comprehending it.
Well, right now I need to get back inside and figure out what happened.
I applaud you, madame. To seek the truth is a worthy ambition.
As a journalist, that is my duty. The waiter didn't need to see my press card again. How about some coffee?
For you, madame, of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and strong. Would you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The waiter watched over his tables with barely disguised contempt. Sergeant Mu, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course. You knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic, your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, drink, Sergeant Mu, drink!
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Mu. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you. I tried to phone you but couldn't get an answer.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. It looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Malediccio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nicole Collard, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then, my favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
It all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Have you spoken to George?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. How about that for a distraction? I wondered whether it would be enough. No, I needed a better idea. I'd made a convincing bloodstain, but was it art? Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Malediccio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, George. That should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company, demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I needed to find a 4-digit number. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for days. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. I didn't need a business card. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of Vera's security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. The completion note from Vera's security. There was an address. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. A pair of evil eyes. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. The poster advertised a 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri sure liked this clutter. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. A naked lady stared at me seductively. Henri sure had his quirks. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. And there I was, thinking that Henri might have set such an obvious code. No such luck. The completion. There was. Now wasn't the time to call the security. I needed to find a 4-digit number. The frame containing the trinkets, the junk, the instruments. Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income.
Hello, Vera Security?
It's George again, from Paris Mutual.
Didn't I tell you not to call back? Goodbye.
It was hard to tell if the lava lamp was retro or just plain old. Henri may have been a hippie, but a hippie with plenty of disposable income. The telephone was an antique rotary. I had no reason. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malediccio. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. That was the earliest shot with anything interesting. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malediccio just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malediccio. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong. There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I'd got some leads on the killer's identity. A closer look at the painting might be useful. Whoever was wearing that helmet was going to pay for what he did. Poor Henri. This frame caught the moment the killer took the painting. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malediccio from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. That shot must have been before anyone else arrived at the gallery. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. That was the...
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I wasn't tampering with anything. I was just looking for clues.
That is my job, Monsieur...
Stobbart. George Stobbart. Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really? So, you have plenty to gain from the robbery.
Well, no. We have plenty to lose from the robbery.
Don't patronize me, monsieur. Only a fool wouldn't know how insurance works.
Yeah. No flies on you, Inspector.
Exactly. I have to get up very early in the morning, which means I can be sure to catch the worm.
So I see.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, Anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobbart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh, pal?
Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation. Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobbart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La Malediccio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. Well, the priest thinks La Malediccio is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life. As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea. Paris sure had a lot of similar-looking cafes. Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked. Excuse me, madame. This is George Stobbart. Could I talk to you?
George, what?
George Stobbart, madame. I'm from the insurance company.
For God's sake, did they have all these? I don't want to buy insurance.
No, I'm not selling, madame. It's about the gallery theft.
Oh, I see. You people move fast, don't you? This isn't a good time. I am so distraught.
Madame, Right. Now that hadn't achieved much. The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security. The stall was a myriad of retro kitsch. Bottle stoppers, keychains, musical cards. Hi! I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for Vera's security.
Yes, of course. It's the shop behind you.
Thank you. The name's George, by the way.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me, but I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners. Used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm very good at fixing things.
Then please do. I'm no good at electricals. Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
Bassam had already told me where Vera... I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed and the cover broken. No wonder it was flashing. I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letters flashing. Now only half the sign was illuminated. The buzzing and flashing has stopped.
And I am very grateful. But the sign still looks pretty terrible, doesn't it? When you're building a brand from the ground up, name is everything. I need a name that makes my customers long for adventure and treasures from faraway places.
I could take a look at your sign, come up with something.
You're like a genie from a magic lamp.
Tell me about your business idea.
This stall is going to put me through college while giving me field experience. But the nonsense sign is working against me. It should spell a name for my shop. I need something original, yet familiar, bright and in your face, yet subtle and symbolic.
I decided to keep the wire. If Bassam knew how flimsy the sign was, he wouldn't be happy. Seemed the letters could be moved around. Shame it didn't have the right letters to spell Bassam. I'd have to think of something else. Aha! That seemed like a good name. Hey, Bassam, how about this? I know it's not your name, but...
Aladdin. Very cool. That's a terrific name for my store. Hits every one of my USPs.
Glad you like it.
You're a genius, George. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Help!
What's wrong?
There's a monster.
What? Where?
On the floor. Get rid of it.
Oh, the cockroach.
Yes, the cockroach. Help!
Romanovs, a Russian brand cigarette. The pack was empty. As a child, I'd always been told not to play with matches, but I never could resist. The ashtray was full of cigarette butts. The filters were gold-colored, very exotic. A crumpled... The reason for the lady's distress was plain. A giant cockroach roamed the floor. I went to take a closer look. Come here, little fella. Not a snowball's chance. I tipped out the matches. I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to entice it closer. That would be pointless. That's so... Nope, I needed to try something else. There were crumbs on the floor. No wonder the cockroach was sticking around. I couldn't catch it just by swiping. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I was never going to catch it with my bare hands. I set down my matchbox. Cockroaches like hiding in dark places. Not a bad idea when you think about it. Cockroach wasn't going for it. I needed some bait. I refused to torture the little fella. Even cockroaches have rights. They didn't go. That wasn't worth.
Aha, Mr. Stobbart. What can I do for you?
Do you happen to know a good way to catch a cockroach?
To be honest, George, I'm better at questions on balancing budgets within a liberal economic framework. But as a layman, perhaps I could suggest you trap it? And please, whatever you do, don't squish it.
Why's that?
The entire family will catch the scent and arrive for the funeral.
Ooh, we don't want that.
You need to find a container of some sort. Then I think add this.
Rich tea. What's that, a cookie?
The perfect cockroach biscuit. Dry, dull, unsatisfying, and yet curiously Moorish.
I'll give it a try.
Glad to help.
I added some bait to the matchbox. Even I was finding it hard to resist that little trap.
Gotcha!
You are a gentleman and no mistake. I hate cockroaches.
Always ready to help a damsel in distress.
I bet you are. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Do you know if there's anyone in the office I can talk business with?
Yes, me, chérie. I'm Annette, the manager.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... The gloves. I just thought...
Ah, easy mistake to make. If you haven't been reconstructed, that is.
Oh, but I have been reconstructed. A number of times. From the ground up.
What can I do for you?
There's been a theft at Le Lézard Bleu. A painting's been stolen.
Shame. Still, I'm sure you'll get over it.
I believe your company set up the security.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Didn't.
Did.
I've got all day.
But I didn't. It says here that Vera was hired to do the security of the gallery. Didn't do a very good job, did you?
Where did you get that?
At the gallery.
That job was signed off. You can't say we were to blame.
I was getting a bad feeling. The place looked like a front, and the only person there wasn't helping. Maybe the office itself could give me more information.
Are you done? Only I want to listen to this next race.
I caught the cockroach. Look, isn't he a sweetie?
Ah! Keep it away from me!
Do you recognize it?
Oof! That would take the hair off your legs. I had a boss who wore that. Know what I mean?
Do these clippers look familiar?
Yes. I mean, no. Why should they look familiar?
I've got a cookie.
Those dry things are disgusting.
Thanks.
Look, do you mind not touching the office equipment?
Annette's peripheral vision was, quite simply, astounding. Even the plant looked depressed. It looked like there was a back office through the door.
Do you mind? I'm listening to the race.
Annette was watching me like a hawk.